Welcome back to Shop Talk. I'm Ria Trillo. I'm sure you've all heard about Habitat for Humanity. Now, if you want to volunteer and build houses for the less privileged, our guest will tell you how. With us in this segment is David Bonifacio. He is a board of trustee member at Habitat for Humanity Philippines. Hi, David. Thanks for coming on the show.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Give us a really brief background of Habitat for Humanity in the Philippines and what you guys have been able to achieve so far.
Well, Habitat for Humanity, to put it simply, we build communities, we build homes for people. This started 1988 in the Philippines, and we're very well known for the Carter build, the Jimmy Carter build.
Right.
A few years ago. That really helped give us presence in the Philippines. So far, we've built about 32,000 plus around that area homes in the Philippines, and about 125,000 volunteers who've gotten involved. So through the years, we've been able to develop everything from single detached homes to even some buildings now, medium-rise buildings in urban areas, and even some disaster relief and renovations after Ondoy. So it's really evolved since the start.
Okay, and do you have any particular targets for Habitat for Humanity in the Philippines?
Well, right now we have what we call our core programs. One is really disaster mitigation and relief. So one of our biggest projects now is with the ABS-CBN Foundation and the Bayani Juan community in Calauan, Laguna.
Okay.
So those people are from disaster risk areas that we've moved to. We're building homes for them. So they've been moved there, especially after Ondoy. That sped the process up a bit. But the goal there is to build a community where people are not at risk and they have homes they can own.
Okay, so Bayani Juan, it's partially built, but it's still ongoing, right?
It's still ongoing. We still do need volunteers. We actually have a build coming up March 26, April 2. Almost every week, if we could, we'd handle as many builds. And we still need more donors. We still need more partners. It's a huge project. Yeah.
Right, never ending. Right. Okay, you mentioned the core programs of your organization. Let's run through them. You already mentioned disaster risk mitigation, which is when you get involved when a disaster strikes. What are the other four?
Well, another one would be peace build. So this is, it's an amazing project because it happens a lot with the rebels down at Mindanao.
Mm-hmm.
So these are like people who now come back, enter society. We build communities for them. It's really a great initiative that helps build community and unity and heal, what was once a war-torn area. Another one would be the urban renewal projects, which are in cities. That's a very difficult task because first, land is very expensive and hard to come by. Second is we have to build up, and that allows us to maximize the area, allows us to maximize the footprint, and keep our prices low enough for these people. We also have youth builds that more in inviting more of the youth into the organization. So we have a few programs in that area.
Okay, when you talk about volunteering for Habitat for Humanity, is it strictly just putting together the bricks and mortar and really getting your hands dirty, or are there other things that volunteers can do?
That's a good question because when you build a community, there's so many things that go into it. It's not just building a house or taking people into it. Just like if we take our own homes, for example, there's electricity, there's food, there's so many things that go into it. So Habitat, the model that Habitat works with is we like to specialize in what we're good at, which is the structure, but then we leave the doors open and invite a lot of people to get involved with all the other things, giving them a stage where they can perform these acts of volunteerism. So a good example there would be how corporations have gotten involved, for example, Ayala Land, with landscaping, or with the sewage. So Manila Water has gotten involved there. Or how we've worked with some priests or some co-ops for livelihood projects.
Okay.
So these are the type of things. Now, for regular volunteers, they can do things like painting, they can do things as a group, feeding, all sorts of things. Yeah.
Right. I've actually been to a build, and it is no joke. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
You don't just sort of sit out there in the sun and speak with your friends. You're really working.
It's physical, so a lot of people like that. A lot of people actually, it's always rewarding for people. And I think the best thing about it is you see something at the end of the day, and that's always, for me personally, it's a rewarding feeling. Yeah.
Right. I'm sure you know that comparisons between Habitat for Humanity and Gawad Kalinga will always be there. How would you differentiate the two?
I mean, first of all, I think it's great that there's two groups. In fact, when you look at the need, it's so vast that we probably need more groups, right? That's one. And I think where I think Gawad Kalinga has been very good at is really raising volunteerism and awareness, and really pushing the nationalism to a higher level. And I think that's great for everyone, because that awareness makes people more active in volunteering. I don't see that there's a competition.
Right.
Now,
because you all basically have the same goal anyway.
We have the same goal, and I think we're all part of the Philippines. We're in the same team, and it really doesn't matter who the star player is. It matters that we win. I think that's the way I would look at it. Now, on the Habitat side, the main difference maybe would be on the model.
Okay.
One of the things that are specific to the Habitat model are repayments, and the reason is because when we build a house, for example, you build me a house, my repayments to you allow you to build someone else a house.
All right.
And then that just keeps going on. Yeah.
Okay, and this is something that the beneficiaries have really been able to maintain?
Well, there's like in any, let's say any business that does financing or any, collection will always be a challenge at some point. But overall, it's been a good model. All the collections go to a fund we call the Fund for Humanity, and it's really strictly guarded for that, for building homes. I think one, it's good for the homeowner, not just because they get disciplined to pay, but really it's the whole aspect of, I work for this, I paid for this. There's dignity that comes to them from owning this. Yeah,
right.
They take care of it better.
And the payments that they have to make, how are those comparable to, say, if they were to build or buy a home that was not built by Habitat for Humanity, or if they were to rent a place?
Well, our monthly amortizations come out to about 1,000 pesos a month, which is lower than what a lot of informal settlers pay to their slumlords or to the people who don't even own the land but have the bully muscle to make them pay.
Right.
So this one, it's a safer environment. It's really more security. You can rely on the structure, which now that we see with earthquakes, you have to be able to rely on the structure.
Yes.
And then at the same time, you're paying less. It's a great deal for them.
Yeah, definitely win-win.
Yeah.
Okay, if we have volunteers who want to be part of Habitat for Humanity, what's the first step they should take?
Like, one of the things, if you want more information, is really visit the website, habitat.org.ph, and there you have all the contact information. I think a lot of people are always wondering, when's the next build? And the answer is whenever you're ready, because we can accommodate a group that wants to build and set a schedule for them and then work out the details from there. So it's a very flexible schedule, and that's great for people that say it's their birthday, they can do a Habitat build. It's an event, let's say a family, they want to go together with another group. It's a school event, it's a CSR, and it's an experience people won't forget.
Right. Okay, well, all the information was there on the screen. David, thank you so much for coming on Shop Talk.
Thank you for having me.
And best of luck in all your efforts.
Thank you.
All right, and thank all of you for watching Shop Talk. I'm Ria Tanwatco Trillo. Please follow ANC Shop Talk on Twitter and be a fan of ANC Shop Talk on Facebook. Join us again tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day. But another level of